Nepal's recently appointed interim prime minister, has made a notable declaration. She intends to remain in her position for a maximum of just 6 months. In her inaugural remarks since assuming office last Friday, Sushila Karki expressed that accepting this role was not her desire, but was a necessity born out of public outcries. "I did not long for this job," she stated, revealing that her commitment is to facilitate a smooth transition to a new government following elections scheduled for March 5th of next year. Her appointment follows a tumultuous period in Nepal, marked by widespread anti-corruption protests that tragically resulted in the deaths of over 70 individuals. These demonstrations expelled the former government in response to deep-seated concerns about corruption and governance. Karki's rise to leadership is intertwined with her prior negotiations with protest leaders from the youth-driven Gen Z movement. "We must align our actions with the aspirations of the Gen Z generation," she emphasized, recognizing the passionate demands for an end to corruption, improved governance, and economic fairness that this demographic has been vocal about. The protests began on September 8th, ignited by a ban on social media platforms, escalating into violent clashes over 2 days that saw not just vandalized political property, but also saw parliament consumed by flames. Official reports now confirm that the total number of casualties from this eruption of unrest stands at 72. Including 3 members of the police force. Reflecting on the destruction, Karki expressed deep remorse, stating, "I feel ashamed. If those responsible for this destruction are Nepalis, how can they identify as such?" Formerly serving as the Chief Justice of Nepal's Supreme Court, Karki is generally perceived as someone with a strong reputation for integrity. However, her tenure has not come without its share of disputes, having experienced an impeachment episode during her 11-month reign as Chief Justice. As Karki settles into her role, she faces a daunting array of challenges. These include not only restoring order and repairing the devastated parliament, but also addressing the urgent calls for reforms from Gen Z activists. All while allaying the anxieties of many citizens who fear that their young democracy and constitutional structures may be at risk of collapse. The conversation surrounding her new leadership is bound to spark varied opinions. Is a 6-month interim government enough to turn the tide of discontent? What steps must be taken to ensure that the demands of the youth are not only heard but acted upon? Please share your thoughts below. Do you feel hopeful about this transitional period or skeptical about its potential for real change?